There's nothing more powerful than a man who vanishes and rebuilds quietly. If you truly want her to feel the weight of losing you, don't plead, don't pursue, don't explain yourself, just disappear, and return as the man she never imagined she'd lose, but now realizes she can't replace. Today's women aren't swayed by sweet words or promises. They're surrounded by attention, options, and constant validation. What catches their attention now? The man who's no longer reachable. The one who doesn't argue, doesn't explain, and doesn't broadcast his next move. When you go silent and level up in the background, you spark something she didn't expect. Mystery. And mystery leads to reflection. Then, regret. Not because you posted quotes or tried to prove your value, but because your life now shines without her in it. This video isn't about revenge. It's not about getting her back. It's about creating undeniable evidence that you were the real prize and she lost you. You don't need her closure. You don't need her approval. What you need is a strategy, a mindset shift that flips the power dynamic in your favor. Once you understand how modern women respond to distance, silence, and emotional control, everything changes. You stop reacting and you start leading. This isn't about pretending to be fine. It's about actually becoming the kind of man she didn't believe you could be without her. You want her thinking about you at 2 a.m. You want her friends asking, what happened to him? You want her scrolling through your stories, realizing she messed up. Bad. And if that's what you want, then sit back, because I'm going to show you exactly how to make a woman regret losing you, without saying a single word. 1. Cut her off completely. No warnings, no explanation. The most powerful move you can make is to vanish without a word. No warning, no closure, no dramatic goodbye, just silence. Why? Because women are wired to expect your resistance. They're used to men chasing, begging, explaining. So when you do the opposite, when you go ghost and don't look back, it stuns her. You don't owe her a final message. You don't need to prove anything. Her actions already spoke for her. The disrespect, the distance, the confusion, it was all intentional. She thought you'd stick around no matter how cold she got. So don't argue. Don't give her the satisfaction of an emotional outburst. Just leave. Quietly. That silence. It hits harder than a paragraph. It lingers in her mind. It forces her to question, did I mess up? And that's where the regret begins. Not because you explained yourself, but because you didn't. You want her to feel it, cut her off completely, delete the messages, block her everywhere, not out of pettiness, but out of power. You're reclaiming control. She doesn't get to watch your glow up from the sidelines. She doesn't get front row seats to your rebirth. Let her feel your absence. Let her wonder what you're doing, who you're becoming, and why you don't care anymore. That silence becomes your loudest message, and trust me, she'll hear it loud and clear. 2. Block her access to you, physically and digitally. Regret starts when access ends. If she can still see you, text you, or stalk your stories, you haven't left her life. You're just on pause. But when you block her access entirely, that's when reality crashes in. Remove her from your social media, block her number, unfollow, mute, cut off the breadcrumbs. Because every post she sees of yours without her in it makes her feel like she's still part of your world. And that's comfort. That's not regret. Most men fear blocking her because they want her to see their progress. But real strength, real power, it's when you don't need her to see it. You're not doing it for her, you're doing it for you. You're building in silence, evolving privately, and that unknown, what is he doing without me, will haunt her. Remember, curiosity breeds obsession. And when she can't find answers, her mind creates them. That's more powerful than any photo or story you could post. She'll imagine you better than you even are, and that illusion alone will sting. So block her, cut the ties, starve her of access. Because the man who removes himself completely is the one she never forgets. 3. Do not try to fix the relationship. Fix yourself. You can't fix what's broken between you until you fix what's broken within you. The moment she loses respect for you, words won't bring it back. Promises, apologies, explanations, they only push her further away. So stop trying to patch the relationship. Stop obsessing over the what ifs. Instead, rebuild yourself. Quietly, strategically, ruthlessly. Hit the gym, not just for looks, but for discipline. Build a business, a skill, a purpose, anything that demands your focus. Master your silence. Master your emotions. Because the man who transforms after heartbreak becomes the man she never thought you'd become. You're not trying to win her back. You're proving to yourself that you never needed her approval to become unstoppable. You're replacing the need for her with the need for self-respect. This journey isn't about revenge. It's about rebirth. Fix your posture. Fix your finances. Fix your mindset. And do it without a single word sent to her. When she checks your page 6 months from now, or runs into you by chance, she won't see the man she left. She'll see the man she lost. And that difference, that's where regret lives. 4. Don't date her opposite. Date her upgrade. After a breakup, many men make one big mistake. They date the exact opposite of her, thinking it'll heal them. But all that does is prove you're still reacting to her. You're still trapped in her shadow. You don't need a new version of her. You need a better version of you. And when that better version of you chooses someone, it won't be her opposite. It'll be her upgrade. A woman who values you, supports your growth, matches your energy, honors your peace. That's the kind of woman you align with after transformation. But here's the twist. You don't go looking for this new woman. She appears when you level up, when your presence demands respect, when your standards are no longer negotiable, and when your ex sees that you replaced her with someone who outshines her in energy, in femininity, in character. It cuts deeper than anything you could say, because she realizes something powerful. You didn't just move on, you evolved. And that evolution brought someone into your life she can't compete with. That's the kind of regret that lingers, because it's not about replacement. It's about upgrading your reality. 5. Let her think it's her idea to lose you. Here's the trick. Don't force your absence. Let her feel the distance as her own doing. Let her wake up one morning and realize you're not chasing anymore, that your energy has shifted, that your texts stopped, your presence disappeared. And when she starts wondering why, you don't answer. That silence creates a story in her mind. Did I push him away? Yes, she did. But here's the magic. She needs to feel like she lost you because she let go, not because you did. That makes it personal. That makes it hurt. People don't regret what they lost by accident. They regret what they chose to lose and didn't know the cost until it was gone. Let her regret come from her own realization. Let it eat at her slowly. That maybe I should have appreciated him more thought. That's your win. Not because you told her, but because she told herself. That's how you make her feel the full weight of your absence, by letting her believe it was her decision. 6. Show no emotion, only progress. After she's gone, your biggest power move is emotional control. No breakdowns, no pity posts, no sad quotes or love songs on your story. You're not falling apart, you're building, quietly, relentlessly. When she looks at your life, whether it's now or 6 months later, she shouldn't see pain. She should see power. A man who used the heartbreak to fuel a transformation. No bitterness, no resentment, just growth. Because that's what makes her question everything. Why isn't he hurt? Why does he look even better now? Why does he seem happy? That calm confidence? That's psychological warfare. You're not begging to be seen. You're making your absence impossible to ignore. Progress speaks louder than pain. So let her see your silence and your success. That combination is lethal. 7. Let her imagine you with someone better. Jealousy is rooted in imagination. You don't have to post pictures with someone new. You don't need to fake a relationship. All you need to do is become the kind of man who could be with someone better. Level up your style, your body, your income, your confidence. Show the world that you've elevated without ever saying who you're seeing. And in her mind, she'll start creating stories. Is he dating now? Did he move on? Does she treat him better than I did? That mental movie is more brutal than the truth, because she's directing it and she can't turn it off. The possibility that you're now sharing your time, energy, and heart with someone who respects you more than she ever did, that's where regret festers. Let her imagination do the damage. You don't need to post receipts. Your silence is the spark. Her thoughts are the fire. 8. Never try to prove your worth to her. Prove it to yourself. Trying to prove your value to someone who couldn't see it is wasted energy. You don't need her validation. You need your own. Stop chasing her approval. Start chasing your potential. When you commit to becoming the best version of yourself, everything shifts. You stop needing to be chosen. You start choosing yourself. Let your progress speak. Let your presence become rare. Let your silence become sacred. She had a front row seat to your love, and she walked away. Now she doesn't get backstage passes to your glow up. You're not here to prove anything to her. You're here to prove to yourself that her absence wasn't your downfall, it was your awakening. 9. When you return, make sure she doesn't recognize you. If she ever crosses paths with you again, whether in real life, on social media, or through mutual friends, make sure she sees someone she doesn't recognize. Not because you changed your haircut or your clothes, but because you evolved so deeply that your energy, your mindset, your standards are on another level. Let her see a man who no longer flinches at her name, a man who no longer waits for her text, a man who found peace where he once felt pain. The final stage of regret, realizing you became the man she always wanted after she lost you. That's not revenge, that's evolution, and it's the most silent, most powerful form of closure you'll ever give her. You see, most men waste months, sometimes years, chasing closure, waiting for an apology, hoping she'll realize what she lost. But that's not how power works. You don't beg for it. You don't wait for it. You become it. When you cut her off completely, when you block her access, when you choose growth over grief, she starts to feel it, not immediately, but slowly, like a storm building in the distance, quiet, cold, unstoppable. And by the time she realizes what she had, it's too late, because the man she knew doesn't exist anymore. You've upgraded, evolved. You've become the version of yourself that doesn't chase, doesn't need, and doesn't look back. Remember, your silence is strategy, your growth is revenge, and your indifference, that's the dagger. So let her regret you, let her wonder, let her drown in the silence you left behind. You're not here to fix what broke. You're here to become unbreakable.